Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are doing 9.5 surface area of pyramids. So grab your paper and your pencil and let's get started. If you need more time to take notes throughout the video, please feel free to pause it at any time, rewind it, anything you need to do. So here's our formula for the surface area of pyramids. We have 1/2 PL plus B. There are two formulas. There is one for lateral and there's one for total, but we're just going to focus on the total. But if you're wondering what the lateral is just the surface area without the base. So if you're thinking of a pyramid, it would just be the area of the faces minus the bottom, the part that it's sitting on. But we're going to focus on the total surface area, which is all the faces of the pyramid. And this is our formula. So the P stands for the perimeter of the base. The L is the slant height. And the B is the area of the base. I think the L is like the hardest one to remember because a slant height doesn't start with L. But like for perimeter and base, so like those like do stand or start with that letter or whatever. So just remember L is slant height. Here's the first example. We have a pyramid. More specifically, a square pyramid. We know it's a square because the bottom is shaped like a square. All the sides are 8. So we are going to find the surface area of this pyramid. And we're going to start by writing the formula. Promise I've been like practicing my handwriting, so hopefully it's not terrible. 1/2 PL plus B. It looks better. Okay. So remember, P is perimeter of the base. So we're going to go through and we're going to find each letter individually, the P, the L, the B. Once we have them all, we will plug them into the formula. So I'm going to highlight the base for us. Okay, this is the base. This is what we're going to be working with the P and the B. Okay, so the P is the perimeter of the base. I want the perimeter of that square. How do we find the perimeter of anything? We find the perimeter by adding up all the sides. So since it's a square, I know all 4 sides are 8. So I'm going to do 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. Or you could do 8 times 4. This time I'm just going to add them. So 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. 4 times because that base has 4 sides. That is going to give us 32. Okay. So next, we want to find the slant, or let's do the area of the base and then we'll go to the slant height so I can explain a little bit about that. All right, B is the area of the base. So now I want the area of that square. We find the area of the square by just doing base times height. And if you look at that square, the base is 8 and the height is 8. So it's just 8 times 8, which is 64. So we have our perimeter right here. We have the area of the base right here. Next is the slant height. So when you have a pyramid has 2 heights. It has a regular height, the one that tells you how tall the pyramid is, and then it has the slant height. So the slant height is the one that goes down the side right here that I just outlined in blue, and it has a little arrow. That's our slant height. The regular height of the pyramid, which we don't need for surface area, but we will need for volume once we get there, is the one that goes down to the middle. It makes a right angle right there. So the height that goes from the tip straight down to the center of the base, that would be our regular height. Okay, that's the height of the pyramid. But our formula calls for the slant height, which in this case we know is 11.7. So the slant height is 11.7. Now that I have all of my information, I have the slant height, I have the perimeter of the base, I have the area of the base, we're going to plug them in to our formula. So let's plug them into our formula. So we're going to have 1/2 times the perimeter, which is 32, times the slant height, which is 11.7, plus the area of the base, which is 64. Sorry, I had to write over that because I was running out of room. Let me calculate that real quick for you. I thought I had already calculated them out and I was going to just write them down for you, but I guess not because I didn't write it down in my notes. Okay, so I'm going to type it in. Okay, and I get 251.2 when I type that into my calculator. So that is our surface area, meters squared. Remember, we're rounding to the nearest tenth. On all your assignments, it's going to be the nearest tenth every time. So try to only put one decimal answer on there. And that's it. So let's move on to the next example. I'm going to go ahead and erase this. All right. Oh my gosh, sorry, that's my phone vibrating. Okay, here is the second one. So we have a pyramid again, but this time it's a different pyramid because the base is different. Look at the base. What shape is the base this time? Triangle. The base is a triangle. Last time our base was a square. This time it's a triangle. So when we find the perimeter of the base and the area of the base, we're finding that of a triangle. Let's start by writing the formula. PL plus B, 1/2 PL plus B. Okay, let's find the different components. I'm going to highlight or outline the base so that we can see it. Right there, it's that triangle. Okay, so we want to find the perimeter. Remember, for perimeter, we add up all the sides. So if I look at this triangle, this side is 10, this side is 10, and this side is 10. So for the perimeter, I'm just going to add all those up. 10 plus 10 plus 10. I get 30. So my perimeter is 30. Your slant height, remember your slant height is the one that is off to the side. And you can see it in this picture. The slant height is this line right here, which is 6.7. So our L, let me try that again. Okay, and now we just need the area of the base, which I think would be where we get the most mistakes because it's a triangle, and then people forget that, hey, we need to use the formula for the area of a triangle. The formula for the area of a triangle, okay, I've been writing so well, and then now it wants to mess up. Base times height divided by 2. So you want the base and the height of the bottom face of the shape that's outlined in purple. Remember that the base and the height make a right angle. I'm just going to do it over here because I don't have any more room down there. But the base and the height are going to be 10, which I'm outlining right here in that color, and then this line right here because those make the right angle that's right here. So it'd be 10 and 8.7. So 10. Okay. Let me try that again. Guys, it's been writing so well, and then now it's messing up. 10 times 8.7 divided by 2. Let me calculate that out real quick. Sorry, I didn't have these numbers calculated out already. Okay, and I get 43.5. So that is the big B. That is the area of the base. So we have all the measurements. I have the perimeter, and again, I found that by adding all the sides. The slant height was given to me. By the way, the code word for today is going to be chair. So hopefully you're still listening, the code word for today's video will be chair. See, I remember writing that down somewhere, which means I did take these notes and I did have the answers, and now I can't find them, or I don't know what I did with them. Because I remember that I set the code word as chair. Sorry, I'm flipping through my papers. Oh well, we'll just move on. Okay, so let's calculate this out. So we have 1/2 times the perimeter, which is 30, times the slant height, which is 6.7, plus the area of the base, which is 43.5. Again, sorry I had to write over those numbers, but I'm trying to write big because I feel like when I write big, the handwriting looks a little bit better. All right, let me calculate that out real quick. And I get 144, exactly, no decimal or anything. So the answer here would be 144. Perfect. All right, if you are in regular geometry, you are welcome to stop watching the video now. if you're in pre-AP geometry, please stick around for the third example. It's just taking it to like another level for you. So again, if you're in regular geometry, you can stop the video now and go fill out the form with the secret word, which I already mentioned. And if you are in the code word, if you're in pre-AP geometry, please stick around for the last example. All right, pre-AP geometry. Here is our last example. So we're still finding the surface area. We're still doing 1/2 PL plus B. So I'm going to write the formula up at the top. Still a pyramid, still a square pyramid and all that. So let's focus on finding the area of the base and the perimeter of the base. And then we'll talk about the slant height, because if you notice in this video, they did not give us a slant height. So we're going to have to find it. Okay, let me change colors real quick. All right, let's find the area of the base. Base is a square. All sides are 16. So we can do 16 times 4 to find the area of the base. And we should get 64. Sorry, I went out of order. And that's not the area of the base. That's the perimeter. Sorry. That's the perimeter. So I did 16 times 4 because there's 4 sides. Same thing as doing 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16. Okay, now let's find the area of the base. Base times height. So it would just be 16 times 16, which gives me 256. Okay, so now let's move on to the slant height, which is what we need to find next. I'm telling you, I remember these answers. I worked these problems out. And now I can't find my notes over them, and so I'm having to calculate them all over for you again, which just makes the video go longer because I have to type them in again. But they're just like nowhere to be found. I don't know. Hold on, let me flip through a couple pages, see if I find them right here. Remember? Oh man, I thought I found them. Okay, whatever. I'll find them for the next video. Okay, so slant height. So we don't have the slant height, which is this line right here that I'm drawing. Let me pick a different color actually to make it stand out from that red. Okay, this is the slant height. This is what I need from the formula. I don't have that. I have to find that. Here's how we're going to find that. We're going to make a triangle on the inside of this pyramid. Right there. Right triangle. Okay, this is 3 from right there. This is X, and the bottom is going to be half of a side because it goes to the center. This whole side is 16, which means this bottom is 8. I think you know where I'm going now. If we want to find that side, we're going to have to do Pythagorean theorem. Let me darken this up a little bit because that green is not it. Okay, here we are. Here's the triangle. It's on the inside of the pyramid. We're going to use Pythagorean theorem to find the slant height. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So the c is the x, a and b do not matter. So you would do 3 squared. That's awful. Let me write bigger, change the color. I'm going to write it like right here, and then I'm going to erase it when we plug the numbers in. So write it down, and then it's going to go away. So 3 squared plus 8 squared, that's an 8, equals x squared. 3 squared is 9. 8 squared is 64, equals x squared. Add them up. 10, 11, 12, 13, 73 equals x squared. We're just doing Pythagorean theorem. We want to solve for x. We want to take the square root of 73. Let me take the square root of 73 real quick. I get 8.5. So my slant height is 8.5. I'm going to write that over here. Okay, and again, I got that from doing the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so it's just an extra step that sometimes you'll have to do when you don't have the slant height. So we had to use Pythagorean theorem to find it. Now I'm going to erase this. If you need it, feel free to pause the video, rewind so you can get it like written down. I'm just trying to go through this kind of fast, which I feel like I'm not going fast. So the video is not so long. Okay, we have everything. We have the P, we have the B, we have the L. Let's go ahead and plug that into our formula. So I get 1/2 times the perimeter, which is 64, times the slant height, which is 8.5, plus the area of the base, which is 256. I'll type that into my calculator. I get 528 no decimals. So 528 would be the surface area of this pyramid. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you need to rewind it, look over something again, feel free to do so. The form today will just be the code word, which I mentioned earlier. And then you'll have an assignment over this tomorrow. See y'all.